Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rayge, and we are back today with one of the most anticipated videos each month I do, which is every single team that's come in that has been confirmed, whether or not it has been a leak, player vote. Now we got it all put together here in the coming months. So I'm pretty excited to announce all these because first and foremost, Marvel Strike Force does an exceptional job in releasing one new team every single month, and there's gonna be actually quite a few teams on the list. So that means we know at least for, the next 3 to 6 months, which teams are likely coming to the game. And remember, that's outside of the things that have not been leaked yet and anything that's new, that's behind the scenes in the pipelines from their end. So without further ado, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely A-Force team. They're on this list because when we wrapped up the year, technically they weren't fully farmable just yet. Obviously, there were opportunities to get more Kahori shards, Miss Marvel, and as well as Medusa wrapping up the end of the year. But technically, there's still more opportunities for more shards of them. So they're on this list because we're expecting them to get added in the next month or so in terms of farmability, and then obviously eventually the bumps and so forth. But yeah, this is the team that finished the year off. But then we had that massive announcement on the Hercules and as well as Jean Grey variant teams. Pretty exciting times, guys. Pretty exciting. I also want to, prefix this by also saying that the Age of X is right around the corner in a couple months. This was leaked by Boylon himself. Massive shout out. The Onslaught kit and as well as this new Mutant Ray team. So we do expect this team to be coming very, very shortly here because of the fact that Extreme X-Men has been dated for quite some time, and as well, like I said earlier, Boylon having this information leaked out earlier on indicates that the information was likely going to get added into the game eventually. So all signs point to this character and his team coming pretty shortly here. I wouldn't be surprised if we got an announcement this month or next month on this team, especially given Charles Xavier and Magneto's kind of hybrid synergy here with Onslaught, and right around the corner with Charles. The timing would be impeccable. So be on the lookout for this character on team, guys. I'm pretty pumped that this is going to be coming sooner rather than later. Having said that, the most dated player fan vote that I think right now, and it's a team that's been overdue for quite some time, is this Vigilante. We obviously finished things up with Hitmonkey, and he easily crushed this vote. So we're expecting him around the corner. Maybe he gets featured as a legendary character. Maybe he gets added into a potential Dark Dimension. Who knows? We know that there should be one more character preceding Charles before that happens, as per the kind of pathway that they set up for Age of X on the Marvel Strike Force website teaser. So be on the lookout for Hitmonkey. But I definitely can see Dark Descendants and as well as Onslaught being sooner than this team, just because with these player fan votes, it does usually take a bit of time, and they still have to decide which characters are getting reworked. We also wrap things up here with Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was interesting. They were separated into quite a few votes. I think 3 total votes, right? We had Victoria Han, Hyperion, Songbird, and then finally getting a chance to actually vote the reworks. Ghost and Taskmaster easily winning out of that list. So I do agree with these selections. I think they're fan favorites. They're 2 of the most practical characters that we've had out of that mixture. Would it have been nice to get all the reworks of all the characters? Yeah, but I think it's also a capacity and resource constraint for them as well. They can't just rework everybody, hence the vote, and at least this now gives them an opportunity to fine-tune and hone in on those current characters that we've had a chance to vote on. It's just unfortunate that not everybody gets that same love, but we at least now know what the full Thunderbolts team looks like. Having said that, don't invest in Ghost and Taskmaster just yet. Wait for the reworks. We don't really know how long it's going to take, right? For all we know, it could be May or June by the time the reworks kick in. So, not saying you shouldn't overinvest, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you're already finding value with them now, then you feel free. They're going to be an investment later on, but I would wait for that confirmation when those reworks and stat increases do kick in, because you're going to be getting your bang for your buck. Now, let's talk about the newest announcement and the 3 different teams that Hercules and Jean Grey are part of. Now, I just want to make sure you guys are aware too. Obviously, there's some parallel between some of these characters, and just be mindful of which game mode you care about, because doesn't make sense to build up 15 characters across the 3 different game modes. It's dependent on where you want to prioritize in your account. Having said that, as I noted, there's parallels, right? There's certain values that you're going to be getting from certain characters. Obviously, the most optimal is Hercules and Jean Grey, because they're going to be leading each of their own teams, so they're locks. This Uncanny Avengers team that includes Falcon, Beast, and Storm, I think is a really, really good mix because they're a part of different teams as well, and they're also required for Spotlight 2. So if you're not sure, build this team first. This should be the first one that you focus on because there's going to be a required game mode actually getting released this week. Obviously, Hercules is not out yet, but that's why they're calling this Spotlight 2 the prologue, preceding the actual main one that's going to get released, I would assume, following Hercules' addition into the game. Now, the next team is Immortal X-Men, leverages Jean Grey, as well as Beast and Storm. So, I think this is probably the second safest one to build out of the three if you were going to hone in on that, just because of the fact that obviously 3 out of these 5 members are already part of the Uncanny Avengers, so you're getting optimal value there. So really the only 2 characters that you have to bring in is Cable and Polaris, and Cable works really well even if he's not fully built up. Polaris is more of a utility. So again, this is for Crucible. If you guys don't care about Crucible, well, may not make sense, but at least you have 3 out of the 5 members already from that Spotlight Raid team. Last but not least, the Mighty Avengers does have a couple of new additions. We got Invisible Woman, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and this is actually Hercules, his own led team here for War, which makes sense given that he is a kind of War-esque character. You know, it's a big nod to him obviously having that value and being able to lead his own team. Because of 3 new characters getting required for this team, on top of Falcon, who can get leverage from the first team, this is probably the one I'm leaning against, just because I don't know if I want to spend all my resources just yet for a War team. I have more than enough firepower in my War options right now, so this is more of a luxury team, but we'll see. We'll see, given the meta change, given obviously the new additions here and there, how much this is going to get impacted. But in the meantime, I am actually shelving this team for the time being, but I do understand there's value, obviously, if you're building up Hercules and Jean Grey. Okay, and then last but not least, we did wrap things up here. This is the most recent, this is the final blog relating to the player fan vote, which is the Hellfire Club. This one no one saw coming, but without a doubt, Azazel was easily the most popular, just because of the nod to the devil. And remember, he's kind of like the variant of Nightcrawler, right? So it's really, really cool to see his addition. And obviously he got featured in some MCU movies before. Maybe Fox movies with the previous X-Men movies. But yeah, either way, pretty exciting, guys. So that's a few teams right now. We know that this is likely happening in the next 3 to 6 months. So exciting times for sure. Let me know what you think in comments below. Let me know if you guys are excited for some teams. But remember, all of this does not include Charles Xavier as well, and what that inclusion is going to look like for another legendary character. So we will see in the coming months, but definitely there's more than enough material here to work with. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.